Modi's war obsession, India's dangerous new game against Pakistan. Hello and welcome to the show. Today, we're going to talk about a very important and dangerous development taking place in South Asia, India's covert activities, its growing network of regional alliances, and the silent war it's preparing to wage against Pakistan, not through direct confrontation, but through proxy operations, diplomatic manipulation, and psychological warfare. Let's break down the story step by step. India's expanding footprint in Afghanistan. In recent months, India has quietly regained influence in Afghanistan. After the Taliban takeover in 2021, India had to shut down most of its consulates and intelligence outposts across the country. But now, reports suggest that RAW, India's external intelligence agency, has once again found a way back. According to diplomatic insiders, the Taliban's acting Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi visited New Delhi recently. Following this visit, India agreed to resume limited engagement with the Taliban government. In return, Taliban leaders hinted at allowing India to reopen certain humanitarian missions, which, as intelligence sources claim, are actually meant to re-establish RAW's intelligence network. In simple words, India is trying to use Afghanistan once again as a staging ground for covert operations against Pakistan. India's strategy: encircle Pakistan. India's current approach can be summarized in one phrase: encirclement of Pakistan. After its influence weakened in Iran and Afghanistan, New Delhi sought a new partner. The Sultanate of Oman, and India signed a naval agreement back in 2018, allowing Indian forces to use the Duqm port for refueling and intelligence operations. This port lies just 400 kilometers from Pakistan's Gwadar port, which means India now has a strategic listening post right near Pakistan's coastline. Reports suggest that India has established a surveillance and listening tower in Oman to monitor Pakistani military communications and naval movements in Balochistan and the Arabian Sea. Security experts believe that data gathered here is later shared with Baloch separatist groups, BLA, and TTP militants through Afghanistan, enabling them to target Pakistan's security forces more effectively. Pakistan's missed response. One of the most alarming aspects of this entire episode is that Pakistan did not publicly protest when India signed this defense agreement with Oman in 2018. Despite having long-standing military cooperation and brotherly ties with Oman, Pakistan remained silent, perhaps under the assumption that Oman would not allow its territory to be used against a fellow Muslim state. But today, that assumption seems dangerously naive. India has leveraged Oman's neutrality to quietly expand its surveillance footprint, a move that directly undermines Pakistan's national security. The Kabul River Dam, water as a weapon. Meanwhile, in Afghanistan, another serious concern is emerging. India has reportedly offered $3 billion in financial aid to help Afghanistan construct a massive dam on the Kabul River, a river that ultimately flows into Pakistan. If completed, this dam could significantly reduce the water flow into Pakistan's northwestern region, potentially crippling agriculture and local economies. In other words, water is being turned into a weapon. This project, analysts warn, is part of India's broader hydrodiplomacy, using water resources as leverage to pressure Pakistan both politically and economically. Doha talks, and Afghanistan's double game. Recently, Pakistan and the Afghan Taliban held confidential peace talks in Doha, mediated by Turkey and Qatar. Pakistan's Defense Minister, Khawaja Asif, revealed that the discussions focused on three key issues: the return of militants from Pakistan, the Taliban's oversight of TTP sanctuaries, and the possibility of a new ceasefire. However, many analysts believe the Taliban are playing a double game. On one hand, they promise to prevent attacks on Pakistan. On the other hand, they continue to harbor TTP militants on their soil. Afghanistan keeps denying this, but evidence on the ground, and the continued attacks inside Pakistan, tell a different story. India's covert network, Oman, Iran, and beyond. India's intelligence operations are no longer confined to one country. It has built a crescent-shaped network stretching from Oman to Iran and Afghanistan, all designed to keep Pakistan under strategic pressure. In Iran's Chabahar port, India continues to maintain logistical and intelligence support facilities. In Afghanistan, RAW has quietly reactivated its old networks. And in Oman, the Navy now enjoys direct access to the Arabian Sea, only a short distance from Gwadar. Together, this forms a three-point strategy: surveil Pakistan from the sea, destabilize Pakistan from the west, and pressure Pakistan diplomatically through international forums. Pakistan's countermove: the Gwadar naval base. But Pakistan is not sitting idle. In response to India's expanding naval presence near Oman, Pakistan has accelerated development of its own naval base in Gwadar, reportedly with Chinese technical assistance. This base will allow Pakistan to monitor Indian activities across the Arabian Sea and safeguard its coastal assets under the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC. The Gwadar base, experts say, is not just a military installation, it's a statement. A message that Pakistan is fully aware of India's moves, and is prepared to counter them, both strategically and diplomatically. So, what are we seeing here? India is trying to project power beyond its borders. Through alliances, covert networks, and proxy groups, it is attempting to reshape the regional order by isolating Pakistan, influencing Afghanistan, and militarizing the Arabian Sea. But history reminds us, every time India tried to corner Pakistan, it ended up exposing its own contradictions. Whether it's the 1971 narrative or the so-called Operation Sindoor, India's obsession with rewriting history only weakens its credibility as regional tensions rise. One thing is clear: the battle for South Asia's balance of power is no longer fought on borders, it's fought in the shadows, in diplomacy, and in the narratives that nations choose to believe. Pakistan must remain vigilant, both on land and at sea, because the real war today is a war of perception, propaganda, and proxy.